You made it all so good. With a promise, did what you said you would. Oh, I wonder why you're so good to me, and you never leave. Oh, I wonder when joy turns into praise, and it welcomes everyone you've made. Oh, I wonder, you open up my eyes, you change my mind. So we celebrate, 'cause we're not afraid of the mystery. With a little faith and a lot of grace, we can celebrate. Wonder, wonder. Oh, I wonder how I see you everywhere. I remember, and it makes me want to share. Oh, I wonder, I feel you as I serve, how the last are first. So we celebrate, 'cause we're not afraid of the mystery. With a little faith and a lot of grace, we can celebrate. Wonder, wonder. No matter where we look, we find you glorious. You made us very good, and you made us curious. So whether in the soil or in the stars above, or we can see your face, or we can feel your love. I wonder how justice leads to peace, how we're different, but we're all family. Oh, I wonder how you make me strong, full of hope and a song. So we celebrate, 'cause we're not afraid of the mystery. With a little faith and a lot of grace, we can celebrate. Wonder, 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 wonder.
Hey everybody, welcome to week 2 of Sunday School. Today we're going to talk about how God created living things. And so what you're going to need to find is out of your bag of things that you got sent home or printed off, you'll need to find this sheet. It's a giraffe, and you'll need to take some time to cut that out. So if you want to pause now and do that, or you can pause later when we get to the craft, you can do that. So you'll need to find some scissors, some markers, and a glue stick or some sort of glue for this activity today. Maggie's going to come up and sing our unit song called Very Good.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us again this week. I hope you remember some of our song from last week, which was called Very Good. And if you remember that this unit, we're talking about creativity. And so I'm still going to do some actions up here. And you are more than welcome to follow along with the actions with me. Or if you want to make up your own actions or your own dance moves or do whatever sort of body movement you want during it, I encourage you to be as creative as you want to be. So this is our unit song and it's called Very Good.
You did first things first. You dreamed of the earth, and with just a word, you made it so good. All the stars aligned, just like in your mind. Everything in time, you made it so good. Everything in its place, filling up empty space, marveling at what you made, we say. You made it all, you made it very good. Sudden bursts of light, everywhere in sight. Water, earth, and sky, you made it so good. Everything in its place, filling up empty space, marveling at what you made, we say. You made it all, you made it very good. Then to care for all this wonder, you made us a breath and dust. We were made to need each other, perfectly reflecting your love. So everything is in its place. All your words are taking shape. So we give thanks for every day and say, you made it all, you made it very
All right, boys and girls. Pastor Ryan is going to come back around and share with you the storybook version of our story for this week. So here comes Pastor Ryan.
So today, our storybook is called God Creates Living Things, like I said earlier. And it comes from Genesis 1, chapter 1, verses 20 to 25. This is the storybook version. God said, "Let there be sea animals in the seas." God created big sea animals and small sea animals. The sea animals swam in the seas. God said, "Let there be birds in the air." God created all kinds of birds. The birds flew in the air. God said, "Let there be lots of animals all over the earth." And there were many kinds of animals living on the earth. There were farm animals, bugs, wild animals, and more. God saw how good it was, and blessed each animal. And I'll show you the picture here. You guys see those? Okay, and it says, "I wonder," here's your question for this one. "Which animal is your favorite?" Maggie and I will share our favorite animals with you in a little bit. But let's now turn to Sandy, who's going to share with us the Bible version of today's Bible story.
Hi, Walnut Hills friends. My name is Sandy, and I am so excited that I get to share today's Bible reading with you. I hope you're ready to listen to the Bible's version of the story Pastor Ryan and Maggie just shared with you. Today's story comes from Genesis chapter 1, verses 20 through 25. God said, "Let the waters swarm with living things, and let birds fly above the earth, up in the dome of the sky." God created the great sea animals and all the tiny living things that swarm in the waters, each according to its own kind, and all the winged birds, each according to its kind. God saw how good it was. Then God blessed them. "Be fertile and multiply and fill the waters in the seas, and let the birds multiply on the earth." There was evening and there was morning, the fifth day. God said, "Let the earth produce every kind of living thing, livestock, crawling things, and wildlife." And that's what happened. God made every kind of wildlife, every kind of livestock, and every kind of creature that crawls on the ground. God saw how good it was. I hope you enjoyed our Bible story today. See you all soon. Bye.
Wait, where are the lights? I can't see anything. There they are. Hi, I'm Carly, and welcome to Celebrate Wonder. I wonder what it was like to own.
Sorry, everybody, that was the week 1 video again. If you give us just a moment, we'll get that other video pulled up for you here.
Hey everyone, let's go on a nature walk together. Go on a nature walk together. Whoa, there's a bear. Did you see it? See those monkeys in the trees? Wow, there are so many different kinds of fish. In our scripture today, God creates all of the animals of the earth. God had already made a home for them, and now God filled the land and the sea with all kinds of animals, and they each had their own place to live. My favorite part is that God didn't just make one animal for land. God made tigers, bears, spiders, caterpillars, birds, elephants, cats, dogs, and so many more. God also didn't just make one creature for the sea either. There were goldfish, sharks, turtles, alligators, starfish, whales, and dolphins. There are so many, there's no way I can list them all. I wonder why God didn't just make one animal that would populate the whole earth. We can have an earth full of tigers, and that's it. The earth could be full of fish and nothing else. Why was God so creative when imagining the world? I think God created so many different living things because God celebrates diversity. Wait, what's diversity? What's diversity? Diversity means difference. Creating it means you have to use your imagination. Even though everything was different, God saw all of the amazing things created and said they were good. Nothing was better, and nothing was the best. They were all important. Friends, thanks for coming on this nature walk with me. We got to see so much creativity and celebrate diversity together. I love looking at all the amazing things that God created. I look one way and I see a zebra. I look the other way and I see monkeys. I look up and I see a huge eagle. I look down and I see a bunch of little ants. When I look at all these things, I remember, wow, God made all this and it's all good. The amazing thing about creativity is that there are always more possibilities. What animal would you add to creation? I think I would want a 10-legged dog that could run super fast. Or even a rainbow elephant. How cool! What would your animal eat? Where would they live? God celebrates your creativity, and when we all imagine, we get to celebrate the diversity of our ideas. Now, it's your turn to wonder.
Hi, everybody. Thanks so much for your patience with our internet connection here at church. We're still figuring out when we're going to finally get it updated to be a little faster, but hopefully in the next few weeks we won't have these problems with the videos lagging anymore. So thanks for your patience with us. So if you have your Wonder Cube at home that we made last week, this would be the time to get it out. We're going to roll it a few times here, and we are going to figure out and answer the questions of what we're doing here. So let's go ahead and roll it. So my wonder question today is, I wonder, what is the most important part of the Bible story? Well, it seems like our video was talking about the fact that diversity was an important part of the story, that God didn't just make one type of living creature, that God made lots of different types of living creatures, which is a wonderful thing and for us to know about. Let's see what else here. I wonder, what did the Bible story teach you? Well, I think the Bible story taught me not only that God created all living creatures, but that God was really intentional about the type of creatures and how he made them, especially in our version of the story that was right from the Bible. It talked about how it was God made each animal according to its type. Sea animals for the sea, livestock animals for that, wild animals for the jungle, and how important it is that we have all those different kinds of animals. Because if it was only one type of animal that lived, all the resources for that animal would run out really fast, which would be really bad. So make sure that you roll your Wonder Cube at home and see and answer those questions together as we go through this time. So now we are going to look at our Wonder Box. So our word for the unit is creativity, the process of imagining and making something like God imagined and created the world. So let's see what's in our Wonder Box today.
Well, I see I don't know what that one is.
A goat.
A goat? Is it a goat? Can you see it?
And a kitty cat.
And a cow.
And a sheep.
And a cow. A different cow.
So what do these animals have to do with our Bible story today? What if you've got a sibling or a parent, if you can answer that or just say it out loud, what these animals have to do with our Bible story? And that would be that God created the animals in our Bible story today. So those animals were created and all different types of animals. So how does this show God's creativity? Can you think about that?
Well, I think that God was creative because look at how different these 5 or 8, I don't know, 7, I can't count, 7 animals are. And then think about all the other things that are outside that we look at. Like I'm looking out the window right now, and there's probably 5 different kinds of trees that I'm looking at, right? So God is so creative in all the things that exist because we can see that because nothing is the same, right? Like the video even said, we could have all tigers as our animals that live on Earth, but we don't. And we have at least 7, but we know that there are hundreds and thousands and more, right?
And what's your favorite animal? So Pastor Ryan asked that question earlier, but I want you to think about what your favorite animal is, or a couple of your favorite animals, and tell your sibling or your parent or whoever's with you while you think about that. So Pastor Ryan, do you know what your favorite animal is?
Well, we're gonna do the craft, and that actually is part of one of my favorite animals. The other one is a polar bear.
And actually, one of my favorite animals is also a giraffe. So that's, you can see maybe why we picked this craft to do today, because I have giraffe necklaces and giraffe prints and shirts at home. That's one of my absolute favorites. But I also really like, let's see, if I had to pick a second favorite animal, I guess maybe I would say I really like dogs. I have 2 dogs at home, and I really enjoy dogs to play with and just cuddle with and snuggle with. So tell what your favorite animal is at home.
I wanted to show you guys. So I used to have, if you can see, I'll walk closer to the camera. My debit card, it's got polar bears on it. My old debit card had giraffes on it. So I mean, it's real. Like I actually carry this in my wallet all the time.
All right, friends, so we're gonna go into doing our first activity today, which is our giraffe craft. So as Pastor Ryan showed you earlier, this is what the blank sheet looks like in your pack that you receive from us. So the first step that you're gonna wanna do is to color your giraffe. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. I need to color this giraffe exactly like a giraffe looks like in real life. And if that's what you want to do, then go ahead and do that. But so Pastor Ryan, if you want to show a little bit of yours and let them see that. So Pastor Ryan colored his giraffe in a way that actually kind of looks very similar to what a giraffe would look like if you saw it in real life. And to show you that you don't have to necessarily, that you can go ahead and be creative, just like our word for this unit, I started coloring my giraffe a little bit differently. So I don't think you probably see a giraffe that looks like this one in real life, but you can use whatever colors you want and be super creative. So the second step that you need to do is to cut out your giraffe. And I'm missing my scissors. And Pastor Ryan already has his giraffe cut out. So as he said earlier, if you need to pause that and do that, go ahead. While Pastor Ryan is talking, I'm going to try and grab a pair of scissors because we do need to, if you can see, there's these two little circles right here. And we are going to need to do something special with them. So I'm going to walk off of the camera real quick and grab my scissors, and I'll be right back. So the reason why we have these two circles in the middle of our giraffe body is because we are actually going to want to be able to, we're going to cut those out so that we can put our fingers through them and make our giraffe walk around. So that is why those holes are there. But just in case you're thinking, how am I going to get these cut out in a way that will make it so that my fingers fit? I'm going to show you just a real easy way to do it in the way that we did on the first one. So if you go ahead and bend just a little bit your circle after you've cut it out, you should be able to go ahead and bend it a little and then snip with your scissors right there. Once you've got that little snip done, if you slide your scissors in, I would recommend, I think the easiest way is to then make two cuts so that you've got a little triangle. If you can see that, I made a triangle with it. Then what you can do is slide your scissors in and cut around the circle there so that the circle is cut out. Now, I want to remind you all that this does not have to be perfect. I know that we like to make our crafts look really nice and pretty, but if you don't have an absolutely perfect circle when you cut it out, that's totally fine because it doesn't have to be perfect. God doesn't expect us to be perfect, so we don't need to expect ourselves to be perfect either. So if you see that, my circle is not quite perfect. I can hold it over my black shirt so maybe you can see. But so one more time, a little bend, a snip, and then make a triangle so that your scissor can slide in. And that way, the reason why I think that's the easiest is because there's not a huge space in between that circle and the edge of the giraffe. And so that'll make it so that hopefully you won't cut through so that your fingers can go through it. Now, if you're a younger kid and you're having a little bit of trouble, go ahead and ask an older kid or your parent or your grandparent or some other adult, or you can go ahead and do all the rest of the craft on your own, and then you can always cut these circles out later. Or if you really wanted to, you could just leave those circles in and color them a different color and make them like the giraffe hooves. But once you get those cut out, you should be able to slide your fingers through like this. All right, I'm going to leave Pastor Ryan to finish this craft with you to show you the rest of it to put the giraffe body together, and I'll see you in a few minutes.
So once you have, and actually if you want to zoom in a little bit, that'd be helpful probably. You have all your pieces cut out, so there should be, two ears. Just tilt it up maybe because my head, yeah. 2 ears. Okay, I know I'm wearing a light colored shirt here. Where's the?
You can
here
see
it is. Okay, and then I've got my the two horns for the giraffe. They're cut out too. And this middle piece. Okay, so this is the neck, and so we're gonna put glue on this one and glue on this one. So grab your glue stick. Okay, and then if you want to tilt it so they can see what I'm doing, I'm going to take the head and I'm going to stick, so there's a smaller half circle and a larger half circle. You're going to take the smaller one and you're going to stick that on the head so it will look like this. Okay, and then we're going to take the body, once I've got it all colored and cut out, or however you want to do it, and I'm going to stick it on there like that. So I've got the head, the neck, and the body. Okay, and I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to stick on my ears and my horns. So the ears, on a real giraffe, you can do it however you want, but on a real giraffe, the ears are a little bit lower than the horns. The horns come straight out of the top of its head. So you want to put your ears on a little bit off to the side, like this, so that the horns will have space in the middle to go on too. Or you could do the horns first. So once we get it all on, then we can put our fingers down. As an adult, my fingers are a little bit big, but I can sort of get them almost all the way through. And you can see I have a little giraffe, and he can walk on the table. So isn't that cute? And now you guys have an exotic animal that you can put on your refrigerator or your wall in your room, just like this. If I can get it off, I'll show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a pin. Ask your parents for help if you need it, and then I can stick it right on here, and he can hang on the wall, so that if I want to play with him later, I can find him really easily. So, thank you for helping me with the craft today. We're going to show you a video for our next activity. Maggie and I went on a little nature walk outside in church, and we wanted to share that with you today. So, and we encourage you then to go on your own nature walk with your mom or your dad or your brother or sister later today.
Hi kids, for our second activity today, we're going to be outside doing a little walk in nature to experience God's creation and the beauty of it. But before we start our walk, we just have a special group of folks who want to say hello to all of you. So this is Charlie's group, and they're meeting outside, socially distant. Hello.
So we're going to continue, and we're going to go this way and not bother them too much more.
Saying hi.
Bye, guys.
Have a great day. So what we want you to do when you go outside for your nature walk is to notice all the different things that God has created and the beauty in all of it. What do you see? What do you notice? What do you hear? All these wonderful different things, ways that we can experience God's creation. What we want you to do while you're out on your walk is to collect 3 different items that represent to you the beauty of God's creation. So they can be any 3 items. Pastor Ryan and I are going to each be looking for some items while we're out on our walk, and we would really like it if you would take pictures of your items and send them to us or post them on our Facebook page so we can see what you saw. So come this way. The parking lot isn't very much nature. We have to be careful if someone's driving through right now. My first thing that I'm picking is this leaf that's already started changing colors. Even though we're so early in the fall, we're already starting to see the beautiful changing colors, which I think is beautiful.
There you go. Okay. We're going to go down this little trail, guys. I didn't know this was here. This is new for me.
Getting a little overrun. If you haven't been out this way before, this is where the Walnut Hill Scatter Garden is. This is my second item. Like those beautiful white flowers.
So it comes from this plant right here, guys.
I hope you all can hear the bugs chirping out here too, and the birds. I can't really collect that. Ooh, look, some more flowers. I'm gonna pick these too. There's so many beautiful sounds that remind us of God, of the beauty of God's creation, not just things. From here you can see our garden of
Community garden. So church members and some community people in the community have plots in here. And I've got some tomato plants and squash plants and some other stuff that are growing in there too still.
I don't know if any of you have ever used these to tickle or share the fuzzies on the people in your family, but we enjoy those too. I already have 3 items, but why don't we go look at the garden before we go back inside?
So you probably are having a hard time hearing us.
So nice to see all the things growing out here. We're not going to pick anything that doesn't belong to us, but this is definitely a good place to remind you of the beauty of God's creation.
So we're going to go back to where my plot is so that we can actually walk in and I can show you what I've been growing, even if it looks a little bit like it's drying up.
Oh, look at these beautiful flowers. Oranges and pinks and reds.
So this one of the people has flowers growing in their plot here. I think these are, I'm not sure what these are actually. So I've got some tomato plants that are, one's pretty big, one's not, it's not super big, but it's growing. And if we go inside here, tomato right there that I haven't picked yet because it's almost ready to pick, but not quite. And then I've got lots of tomatoes on other plants here too. So after I'm done today with recording this, I'm going to come outside here and pick some vegetables. It's a little bit weedy because I need to spend some time weeding, but I haven't. And then here's a look. There's some watermelon down here, and the person across from me. So that's Jaden and Jocelyn's grandma, her plot. And I've got here some if I can get down there, that is a spaghetti squash right here. And I've got another one over there, and there's a couple green squash still growing. But if you can see in the plot, a lot of stuff is starting to dry up. And that's because it's the end of summer, and a lot of our stuff doesn't last that long, so into the fall. But I've also got some marigolds growing here in the garden, and those help with bug prevention.
All right, kids, I hope that you find some time to get out and do a nature walk of your own today. And remember to grab a few things that remind you of the beauty of God's creation and share the photos with us. Thanks for joining us.
Bye, everybody. We'll see you back inside.
All right, kids, thanks for watching that video of Pastor Ryan and I doing our nature walk yesterday. We really hope that you'll go out and experience the beauty of God's creation for yourselves this week. I think that especially it's been so nice after being so hot for a while. Hopefully that it'll still be nice when this week comes around so that you'll be able to go out and see some different plants and animals and changing colors as we head further into fall. So just like last week, we are going to end our time together today with a spiritual practice. So when we introduced our spiritual practice last week, we said that there is no right way or wrong way to do a spiritual practice. What matters is that we are thinking about and connecting to God. This week, we're going to do a different spiritual practice to help keep us connected to God. So right now, I want you to take your hands out in front of you and take a look at the palms of your hands. And I want you to study them really closely. Then I want you to turn them over and look at the backs of your hands. And look at those closely too. Now, if you've got someone else sitting next to you, or if you need to go find another person after we're done, I want you to look. I'm going to look at Pastor Ryan's hands. Look at the palms of your neighbor. And look at the backs of your neighbor's hands too. God made our hands to create beauty. Our hands are similar to our neighbors, but they're not exactly alike. God gave us all the ability to create, but we create different things. This week, when you look at your hands, remember God created you to use your creativity to make beautiful things.
So we're going to pray today to end our Sunday school lesson for week 2. So if you will repeat after me. Dear God, thank you for creating our hands to make beautiful things in all of your world. And thank you for all of the living things that you created for us. Amen. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you guys next week for week number 3.